What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Listen, I just got finished hanging out down to the Pank, okay? And let me tell you what had happened. So this is P-Valley Season 2, Episode 1. So listen, let's talk a little bit about it. This, a lot of this episode is going to be catch-up. P-Valley has been gone for like 2 years. They have definitely incorporated the pandemic into what's going on. Like, everything that they're dealing with is a result of the world being shut down, and that's just the reality. And so we see the opening sequence. We see this guy who's trying to get out the house. Like, they having a birthday party, and his kids running all over his house, and he is over it. And so he tells his wife that he gone. He gonna go to the store. But as he's riding around, he sees somebody holding a sign saying car wash, titties, girls, whatever, and he goes to check it out. Baby, they done converted the Pank. Well, it's not the actual building of the Pank, but they done built a car wash, and you can buy the different levels just like at a regular car wash, but of course the top of the line is the Mercedes Special. Baby, he driving to that thing, and you got the women on each side dancing. They got on their glow-in-the-dark stiletto clear heels. Next thing you know, they are washing your car. They are washing each other in their, G-strings and the titties. And you go through, you ride. So you getting your car washed. And it was so funny because at the beginning, they were like, do you want a receipt? He was like, I don't need no evidence. But he ended up leaving his DNA inside of the car. Y'all just gonna have to read through what I just said. But baby, then you get to the end of the car wash, and when you get the Mercedes Special, well, baby, you get you a dance from Miss Mercedes herself. I said, okay, all right. Listen, it was hot. Like, that was definitely a way for them to get around the fact that the Pank is shut down because of the pandemic, honey. So we find out that this is what they've been doing. We find out that they were shut down for about 5 months before they actually came up with this idea. So this is something that, they were out of work for about 5 months, and Uncle Clifford was still paying the girls out of Haley's money. Now we left off with Haley buying the Pank, and after she bought the Pank and she paid the back taxes, she paid off Uncle Clifford's those predatory loans that he was in trouble in over his head with. She also put a down payment down on a gym for Mercedes. So she did a lot of things with this money. And now she has this, she had like $100 and something thousand, but they just down to $25,000. And she is trying to figure out what the hell Uncle Clifford did with the money that they're only down to $25,000. And she's like, we need to open up the Pank like yesterday. Like yesterday. We found out that she's living with Mercedes, so that's where she's living. And of course, her and Mercedes got this whole love-hate relationship going on. And we find out that Mississippi is persona non grata because, she pulled that gun on Diamond, and people ain't over it. They were like, who does that? Diamond was family, and he was trying to save your ass. Like, who does that? So Mississippi is persona non grata. We're going to get back to Miss Mississippi. The other chick, the white girl, her mama passed away, and so she left town, honey. She down in Florida. She got up out of Dodge, okay? So we see her on a FaceTime call with Mississippi later on in the episode, so I don't know if she's going to end up coming back, but we did see like a little FaceTime with her. Big is his name, Big Ed, whatever, the Uncle Clifford's guy, he's still with them. Donna was working down to the Family Dollar, working security down to the Family Dollar. So I don't know if he's not working at the Pank because it's like persona non grata, or he just chose not to go back to the Pank. I'm not sure, but we saw Diamond. Now, what we also found out is, they're splitting the profits from the car wash. They're splitting them evenly. And Mercedes has a problem with it. I mean, yeah, Mercedes has a problem with it. Mercedes said, listen, I'm the name that pays. I am who they're coming to see, baby. I am mahogany up in this bitch. And I'm not understanding why we are splitting this whole thing evenly, why everybody is getting an even cut when everybody ain't doing the same level of work. And, Haley was like, listen, I'm doing the best I can to try to keep everybody working and keep everybody's table full, okay? This is what we agreed to when we decided to open up this car wash, and you just gonna have to deal with it. Now, we know why they paying Big Ed. I know that's probably not his name, but we know why they pay him, because he made the body disappear. Remember, he buried the body, so he good to go. They're gonna always make sure that he good. Okay. But Mercedes is struggling because she's carrying the mortgage on her house. She's carrying the mortgage at the gym because Haley put down a down payment, but Haley ain't paying for the gym. And she hasn't been able to get the gym up and running because of the Panorama. We also see that Mercedes is dealing with an injury. She's got something going on with her shoulder. She won't get it checked out. She won't go to the doctor. She says she's okay and she can make it happen. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't know if that's going to be a big deal or a little deal, if they just said that just to show how hard Mercedes has been working. So that's what's going on with the people down to the paint. Now, we see Murda is, the video went viral with Mississippi and all that. The Mississippi song, Mississippi Pride, that went viral and everything, but of course, because of the Panorama, they haven't been able to really do anything. Now, Mississippi is dancing in her house. She got a whole room in her house set up with a pole and the music, and it looks like she's doing something akin to like OnlyFans, because her controlling boyfriend / baby daddy / husband, because I don't remember. I think that's her husband. Anyway, but we know that's the baby daddy. He basically won't let her out of his sight. Like, ain't nobody seen Mercedes because Mercedes don't come out the house. Now, he's not working, but so basically right now what they living off of is what she's making on her website. Again, they insinuated it was like an OnlyFans type situation. She's dancing and she's got people coming in and they're paying to come in and see her, see her dancing or whatever. Murda is working on new music, and Murda is trying to get he's trying to get out. Like, he's like, listen, I gotta do something else. He's still selling weed or whatever. And DJ Never Scared, they working on beats and stuff. He's put some music down. Like, he's put some music down, and he's trying to get some things popping. We found out that they about to open back up, right? They about to open up coming out of the Panorama, so they are happy, excited. They getting ready for the reopening of the Pink. And of course they had to renovate and do some things because of what happened after Murder Night, and they were in there renovating and fixing up the Paradise Room and all of that. And baby, you could still see the blood on the walls, baby. Haley told them, y'all gonna have to paint this wall red because blood stains don't come out, especially under that fluorescent light that they had going on inside of the room, so again, just to be reminded of what went down Murder Night, right? Now, the other thing we found out is that the mayor has died. He succumbed to the COVID. Now, we know in real life, Isaiah Washington got fired. I really forgot why. He was getting on everybody's nerves just like he always seems to do. He got fired in real life, but they killed his character off. But it played right into what we were dealing with because he got COVID and he died. So now we got to deal with the fume. And now the question is, what's going to happen with this casino situation now that the person who was really spearheading this project is gone? Now, Diamond Mama looked like she done opened up her church, and of course she is still against the casino and all that good stuff, right? We didn't see her, but we did see her giving away food at her church. She had like lines down the street. She was giving away food and stuff. It looked like she doing some good things, but I just can't get past Miss Patrice, what you did to get that church. So I just can't move past it, okay? I just can't move past that, Miss Patrice. Then we see Andre. Baby, Andre looked like he done had it rough. You know how during the Panorama everybody was putting on weight? Andre looked like he lost weight. His face looked kind of sunken into y'all and thin. But Andre looked rough. He clearly ain't working. We know he got fired. Okay. After that whole situation happened with the Pank, we know he got fired. But, again, looks like he's not working. And remember, his wife was a doctor. So we see her coming home, going in the house through the basement, taking off all of her clothes, putting it in a biohazard bag. We see her sanitizing her mask and her ID. We see her taking a shower. And it looks like she's like living in the basement of the house to protect him from getting sick. And again, I like the fact that they threw that in there just to remind us of just how bad things were, especially for first responders. We see her face is toe up from the mask, having on the layers of mask all day, and she's got the rash and all that good stuff. Not good stuff, but you know what I'm saying. And she comes upstairs because she was like, you were supposed to restock my refrigerator. Like, I don't have my almond milk. Like, what's up, bro? Like, I'm trying my best not to come up in here to the main house to get you sick. But I've been calling you and you're not answering your phone. What's good? So she picks up his phone and realizes that he's been getting all kinds of phone calls, including a text message from Miss Haley extending her condolences. And that's when he finds out about his uncle, godfather, who was the mayor, passing away. So him and his wife get into an argument about him going back. She was like, I don't want you to go back. It's not safe. Like, I need you to really take this seriously. Like, I lost 7 patients today. Like, it's not a joke. And he was like, but I gotta say goodbye. Like, that he raised me. Like, he was like a father to me. And, we weren't on the best of terms. So I really need to do this. So they compromised that he would go early, pay his respects, and then come back home. Okay. Now back over to the paint. Now Uncle Clifford has not talked to Murder. We see where Murder's been trying to reach out to him, and Uncle Clifford ain't stunting him, ain't paying him dust. Haley tells Mercedes, you're absolutely correct. Like, I thought about what you said, and you're right. You really should be making more money. So when the paint opens back up, I'm gonna negotiate that you get a cut of the door. And Mercedes was like, the door? She was like, girl, yes, that's what I got for you. Okay, we're gonna give you a cut of the door. She says, and we also going to audition for some new girls so we can stretch out the rotation so that you can have some time to heal. Because your shoulder isn't doing too good. And, you need time. And she was like, we don't need no new girls. Because, of course, more girls mean less money, less tips. And, Haley was like, listen, this is what we're going to do. And she said, what about Uncle Clifford? Haley was like, Uncle Clifford don't own the paint. Like, I agreed to go into a partnership with him, but when it comes to doing what's best for the club, I got to make these decisions. And I think this is what's best for the club. So Mississippi wasn't happy about it. I keep saying Mississippi. Mercedes was not happy about it, but baby, that's just how they left things, okay? Now, Mercedes reaches out to her girls and tells them, listen, Mississippi's opening back up. We can open businesses. So I need y'all coming down to the gym so we can get started. And, I need y'all parents, y'all mamas to pay y'all, little, fare, little, whatever their dues are or whatever. And all the girls are like, yeah, no, we're not making it. Like, my mama said I ain't have the money. Like, most of them said either their mama said they didn't have the money to pay the fee, or they weren't ready for them to go back out. Like, they were scared for them to come back out. And so it looks like she was like, well, I guess it's just going to be, you, Terica, and one other girl, whatever. And she was like, nah, because Terica mama ain't going to let her come out either. So, poor Mercedes. She trying, honey. She is trying her best. But it's just not working out. So, Murder reaches out to Mississippi because he said he went to his manager and told his manager he was ready to go on tour, and his manager was like, tour where? Like, we still in it, like, even though the world is opening back up, we are still in the middle of a Panorama. Like, who is coming out to see you? You know what I mean? Like, who is coming out here? And he said, well, I'm trying to make this happen. And he said, well, what about Mississippi? Because basically Mississippi is your draw. Like, I know you like to rap, and I know you like to think it's all about you, but honestly, it's really all about her. So he reaches out to Mississippi, and Mississippi was like, ain't nobody coming out in this. Like, my man ain't gonna let me come. I'm good. I can't get out, right? And he's trying to tell her, listen, we gotta make this money. Like, come on. Like, I need you to come with me. We need to make this happen. And she was like, yeah, that's not gonna work. But she ends up lying her way out the house. She pretended like they ain't had no Pampers child, so she could get out the house. But she really was just trying to go see Diamond. So she goes down to the Family Dollar where Diamond is working security. And she's trying to apologize to Diamond about what happened when she pulled that gun on him. And Diamond was like, first of all, not here. Okay, let's not have that conversation out in the open at my job. Second of all, I really don't want to hear what you have to say. Like, that your husband called me a nigga. Like, if he called me a nigga, what is he saying about you? And she was like, I don't believe, he don't call me that. He don't use those words. And he was like, why you think we were fighting? Like, why do you think I was whooping his ass? And she said, well, I just couldn't do it. If you had killed him that night, I wouldn't have been able to live with myself. And, I'm sorry, Diamond. I'm sorry. And Diamond was not trying to hear it. Diamond was like, listen, He called her by, first of all, he called her was it Keyshawn is her real name? He called her by her government name. And he told her to get up out of there, which I feel like he mostly called her by her government name anyway. But he told her to get up out of there. So I guess she was looking for some sort of forgiveness from him, and he wasn't giving it to her. So she realized that she wanted to go on this tour with Murder. And so she texted him and tell him, let's call it, what you say, the 12 nights of murder or something. We could do 12 dates and 12 nights. And so, of course, Murder was happy because they about to go on the road. Well, at least so he think. Now, Andre gets to town and he goes to visit, you know, pay his respects to, you know, the goddaddy. And the, his, assistant slash, you know, boo thing that worked for him came to talk to him, and she basically told him, listen, you know, things didn't end well with y'all in the end, but he did love you. Like, that didn't change anything, you know. And of course he's broken up about it, like he's really upset about it. You know, he said, you know, that man raised me like I loved him, you know. And so she tells him, well, you know, if you really want to help, you know, we need another pallbearer. Like, we one person short. And he was like, nah, I got to get back. I told my wife that, you know, I wouldn't be around too many people. And, of course, he ends up showing up at the funeral. Now, listen. Let's talk about this funeral for a second. I've never been to no funeral in Mississippi. So, far be it for me to judge y'all down to the Mississippi, okay? But they had a gold hearse, and I guess fluorescent green was his favorite color, because baby, when I tell you that they all had on that bright ass neon green yellow color, their suits, all the men had on the suits. The pallbearers had the same suits because he had 6 children, but only 5 of them were old enough to be able to carry the casket. That's why they needed Andre. All the women had on dresses with with that color. Child, it was a mess. Do you hear me? I mean, they was coordinated. Oh, they was coordinated, but baby, it was a whole mess. Andre ended up showing up for the funeral and being a pallbearer, and he ended up giving a speech, which, of course, because he was the mayor, it was on TV, and Uncle Clifford saw he was there. And of course, Uncle Clifford grandmama, my girl Loretta Devine, was like, listen, if Mookie do you see Mookie? He was like, no, I don't see Mookie. She said, well, you know what that means. If you don't see Mookie down to the funeral, that means Mookie somewhere cooking, and she got some chitlins, and I need you to go get me a plate. Baby, Uncle Clifford was like, so you want me to risk the Rona to get you some chitlins? She was like, yeah. Oh, I'm going to get them myself. And of course, she got up and picked up the car keys like she was going to drive somewhere. Where are you driving, ma'am? You cannot see. Anyway, we found out that now that the mayor is gone, that the person who is acting mayor is the white boy, the brother, the racist one that pulled the gun on Andre last season. Now he's in charge, right? He was a councilman, and so he's temporarily going to be the mayor. So Uncle Clifford goes over there to get grandma some chitterlings. And baby, he got this bad fluorescent neon green suit, honey, with the snakeskin boots to the knees and the shoulder pads pointed out. Baby, it was cute. Oh, Uncle Clifford was ragging, honey. He was ragging. And he ended up having a conversation with Andre and with the white boy about what this means now. You know, now that the mayor is gone, what does that mean for this whole casino situation? Like, what does that mean for what we trying to do down to the casino? And basically he's like, listen, I'm still trying to move forward, you know, with the plan. And he tells Andre, listen, let's work together and make this happen. And Andre was like, yeah, like, do you remember that the last time we hung out, like, you put a gun in my head, you was calling me all kinds of niggas, like, you remember that happening? And he was like, I mean, of course we had like a little incident, but I mean, we could still work together. Now, he also saw Miss Haley while he was there. Okay, you know he saw Miss Haley while he was there. And they did that little flirty flirt thing, but ain't nothing really go down. But I feel like Andre gonna be around a lot more, and it's gonna be a situation with him and Haley. But they had a little moment. Um, the last thing we saw as it relates to that situation was the brother came around, and I feel like I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think that's the other brother, the one that the bastard brother. He came around with all this money as a retainer to Andre, talking about some if the casino's back in play, then we're gonna need somebody. I'm gonna need you to help me do what you was already doing last time, is to get the Pink to sign. And he was like, Uncle Clifford ain't about to sign the Pink away. And he was like, yeah, but Uncle Clifford don't own the Pink anymore, so maybe we can get the new owner. And of course, he knows that he got a little thing with Haley. So that's how we're going to get Andre back in the mix, okay? Because, we had to figure out how he's going to get Andre back from Atlanta, okay? So that is how we get Andre back from Atlanta, okay? And the last thing we see is Mercedes found out that Haley went behind her back and put out an ad for auditions for Girls Down to the Pink anyway. And she is pissed off, and she is mad at Miss Haley. And Haley basically, like, put her foot down and was like, listen, at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying, but this is my club. Like, this is what I have to do what's in the best interest of my club. So I need you to go sit down somewhere and let me do what I do. And of course, Mercedes wasn't feeling it, and she started hitting her with the yes massa. So there's that. So that is the first episode. Listen, I'm here for it. We had a little music. We got caught up on everybody. So I'm here for it. Waiting to see what happens down to the Chuckalisa, the Chukka for the rest of the season. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.